are approached by the government to cooperate with the government of the United States. That's only half that said that. The other half, which adds up to 100%, that cooperated, right? So that means, imagine if you were in Bangladesh, imagine if you were Rohingya, imagine if you're from Palestine and the Zionists are bombing and slaughtering you everything. Imagine you from Afghanistan and you're not no super Muslim, you're just a Muslim. And you come here, you want to get away from all the fighting, right? And they say, will you cooperate with us to stay here? What's they going to say? Of course I will. That's why not only the African American are saturated with FBI, but the whole movement in America, the African American movement, the Spanish American movement, all movements are totally saturated with government agents. That's the history of America, right? That we all know. That's the way it is. So now back to our brothers. You know, the first thing that the people told me years ago was, well, if you stay away from those guys, you know, Iranians, this is Saudis talking, that the FBI come and they say the same thing. Everybody is saying the same thing. We're all in this together. You stay away from them, you got a free ride. I told them I ain't gonna do it. I said I hang around Indians, Pakistanis, Afghans, Arabs, African Americans, everybody. This is 1981. I say, if one of them told me to stay away from you, I'd tell you the same thing. I accepted Islam to worship Allah, not to worship you. Now, let's bring in the concept of independence. Let's bring in the concept of groups, Ikhwan. All of them. They attain it because, remember when Ikhwan came here and talked to Obama about 5 years ago, something like that? This is 17. Right after the Arab Spring. Yes, let's say 2011 or 2012, right around that period. Yes, we agree, you're moderates. You go and you take position and we'll support you in Egypt. The Ikhwanis, they are the same as our homeboys just sent us an invitation. Yeah. All of them are the same. You notice their policies are centered around their group's goals, not around Quranic guidance. And that's why they get this urine slapped out of them every time. That was a time in the past, Black Madison's group solidarity was the name of the game. You could get a crew with serious group solidarity. Back in the day, you'd rise to the top. The more discipline you had, the bigger you would get. That's why the Ba'ath Party, after Michel Aflaq, like Ben Aflaq, Michel Aflaq, a Christian Arab. It's an Aflaqis, we used to call the Iraqis Aflaqis because they were, or you could call Syrians, they followed Michel Aflaq. It was a Christian Arab party that had a lot of discipline and they got strong in the Arab world because they were strong. Party, revivalist party. So, we've passed that period today. Now, that's the problem with our Iranian brothers who are in charge of diplomatic missions outside of Iran, because they've become strong outside of Iran. Inside of Iran, they don't run nothing. But remember, if you were to see the people for the last 10 years that go over to Iran, you say, what the hell are they doing? They don't have nothing to do with it. They might have one of the niggas right down the street going to Iran. Or a Black Lives Matter person that don't even know that Black Lives Matter. You've never seen them, you've never heard from them. They don't have any, you know, they're not like our black revolutionary groups we know them, and I don't know where they come from. What's the purpose? The danger is that inside the Islamic Republic, it's fine because the Rahbar is there, you hear the principalists that stay with the line of Imam Khomeini, right? Well, they stay behind the Rahbar, and Iran has the best economy, the strongest army. All those institutions are fine. But the danger is the people that they bring to Iran are friends of these bums, not bums, but our brothers, who have deviated. I say they have deviated because they have a black mark, no, a white mark on their behavior. And I'm using us as an example. I'm using myself as an example. So, from day one after the revolution, we stuck with them. With everybody else, every Negro that I know, that they're coddling right now, at every meeting, those Negroes are the same ones telling us, we gotta get the money from the Iranians and run. You know what I mean? Because the feds, man, you know they're gonna down them. So we might as well get our money and run. I'm telling them I'm not doing that. The Iranians realize some of that. The Iranians are having meetings. Well, let's say the revolution, we're having meetings all over the world. The only thing that they demand, in those days they're asking, is that African Americans have a unified camaraderie. Because we can't help this group, that'll make the other group mad, we help that group. You know what I mean? Technically they were right. But you know what? I got pictures and I got the notes every meeting that Negro would make sure that we wouldn't have no unity. And if you look around and find them now, you don't know where they are, they long gone. Their duty was to prevent the exact thing that would get them everything that they wanted. So they know if we got collected millions, maybe multi-millions, whatever. But everybody knows that movement, to build movement and infrastructure. But the Negroes would show their butts so bad that they would break the heart of the people that is watching. Up in Canada in '85, we were going through that meeting process. I said, well, okay. There's Shia Negroes from different places. They was actually trying to make me mad. They said, well, Big Hunk. I said, Big Hunk is a candy bar. You're talking about Big Hank, you know. You're trying to make me mad. So I said, I tell you what, y'all keep your little meeting, and I left. So they came early in the morning, the Iranians. They want you to come and chair the meeting. I said, I know it. They said, if you don't come, because they had full trust, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody's seen what's going on. After you've been through so many battles, you know who's with you, you know what I mean? So, I said, okay, I'll go chair the meeting again. The Negroes are in harmony. All of them are on the same team. All of that, in other words, this is my opinion, out of all the Negroes around the Iranians, including the ones here, especially here. That's why I came here, because this was a center, and I came here with the explicit thing to check this thing out right here. Because when I came here, I saw insanity. What I mean by insanity, I went out to the IAC, I saw this big place, I saw all the Muslims milling around, and all the nice programs at the IAC. I saw Muhammad Al-Asi's name as Imam up on the second floor. I knew that it was hundreds of thousands of dollars coming from somewhere to run this thing, to buy vans to the school, all kinds of stuff. And nothing happened. I said, boy, this is really something here. How did all this happen? I'm gonna speed up. I came to a conclusion that this was police headquarters. It didn't have to be. This is the center here in New York, is the center of everything. All the fitna is coming from here. So that means that the people that they have linked up with, right, their spokesman and everything, is the police. It went even farther. I'm not going to get into our friends like Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui. Do you remember remember last month all of those DVDs on every subject, historical subject you could imagine is there on ICIT, right? The minute I did it 3, that's why I did it, 1, 2, 3. And they took it off. And guess what? When we had told the brothers to download all that, they downloaded everything but those things. I don't know why I did it, but all I know is the reason I wanted to download it was for those. Because I know when I do this, they're going to take it down. They took it down. I mean, we'll get it all back. I got half the stuff on the old tapes and stuff. I got all that stuff. We'll put it back up. Here's the point. First thing I realized when I came here, I run across this guy. I remember in '87 we had a demonstration when they killed all the Hajis from Iran in '87. We had demonstrations down by the Saudi embassy. I was studying that, in fact, in a playing field. And I told the brothers, when you come by on 70, those in Kansas City and other places, go come by in your van, stop by and pick me up. And they said, yeah, I came here with them. So when I first saw Fufani, do y'all remember Fufani, the African guy who had glasses? Well, when I got here, a couple years later, and settled in, I got to know Fufani. And what Fufani told me was that basically he was the dispenser of Saudi money. He said, yes, I give Farrakhan money and I give money to Wajid Muhammad. Definitely gave him money around here. Fufani. And I saw him first at the Saudi embassy out front of it when we demonstrate now. I said, this guy got juice. This was 2 years before I came here. So, our situation with Iranian brothers right now, out of the groups, one group went back home. All of them had offers from every university. You stay here, you're going to make it that time. So many thousands. And they went back home anyway. Boy, but that's a sweet offer. You know what I mean? And some of my friends that went back, they said, man, it was tough to, you know, because you got used to American lifestyle, your English is perfect, and they're going to give you, whatever they call it, tenure at the university. And you don't have to worry about, and this is during the war and right after. I'm going to try to speed up because this is important. Because I'm reaching out now to our brothers that went back to Iran. The message is this one. The brothers that stayed here have formed a criminal cartel. When I realized it, was with the foreign minister passed, Kamal Karazi. In 1990, they invited me up to New York. And I gave the famous Seward speech, Politics is a Seward. And it was for Imam Hussein Day. And I said Imam Hussein wasn't a pragmatist, but they had a president that was a pragmatist that all of them followed, that just passed away. Okay, our brothers now, their policies coincide, the ones here. The Daftar, not so much the mission, but every Shia organization, including Muslim Congress, have pulled away from Imam Musa. Every one of them. Now, if I was anybody else, I would have dropped dead a long time ago. And what I get every day from the Saudis and the Negroes, I told you should have went with us. The Saudis, that's what they say. See, you stuck with those Iranians, now look at them. Okay, the point I want to make. Some are straight out hypocrites. Some mix good deeds with bad deeds. Those of you who went home, I know the sacrifice. I want y'all to hook up a crew. I know we used to meet in a certain place for a Jum over there. We're in a big tussle over here. You would be proud. Hey man, look at us. We done lasted 37 years with no help from nobody. The brothers that you think are all the Muhammad al-Asis and these guys, what did they ever do? You think about it. Not what did they ever say. See, just like Saudi Arabia made a group of speakers, the Siraj Mahajis, all them people, whoever they are, Zayd Chaka, all of them, they're made up people. They're not functionaries, they're not fighters, because none of them have ever had a fight. Let's look at around the United States. None of them have ever had a fight, including our crew. The last time Muhammad al-Asi come in contact with the police was when they was in the Islamic Center 3 years ago. They don't stop him now. He ain't got not one knot on his head. And the Zionists ain't talking about him all the time. Why the Zionists talking about me and writing articles about me? And his forte is supposed to be Zionism. Why ain't the FBI? Why ain't the CIA? Why ain't nobody jumping on nobody but me in the United States? They don't never get stopped by the police. They can fly anywhere they want. Abdul-Malik supposed to be the anti-Zionist. Only anti-Zionist he do is out there in Irvine, get the kids in trouble at the university. That's all he do. You studied the last 3 years ago, all the fitna that go on at Irvine. Abdul-Malik them set people up. What I'm trying to say is that our brothers here, after we have arranged the best institutional processes that have ever existed Islamically in America. We've done that. We're doing that right now. But we're doing it without their help. Islamic Resistance Movement of North America, we have that. The National War of Liberation, we have that. As-Sabiqun liberation movement that wants to liberate the Islamic movement in North America from Saudi Arabian control and domination, from foreign control and domination. And my only problem is that the brothers cannot dominate me. Okay, I didn't join the revolution to be dominated by a bunch of book readers who got some degree from some university and ain't never been in a fight. The policy of the Daftar and our friends coincide with the policies of the United States government. But now, Allah has protected the Islamic Republic in many ways. You see that JOC, whatever it is, +5, right? They went on and made that pact or treaty or agreement, which in a way turned out good. But all the people was jumping up and down about how great it was and what was going to happen. And we told them publicly, okay, when you make that treaty with them, first thing you do is double cross them. What? I said, because they're going to double cross you. We told them, this is all public. Our brothers have got shafted by the United States government. But that's good. Here's why. Because if the United States wanted to weaken the position of al-Faqih, they would have went along 100% with the foreign ministries, atomic energy negotiators. That will strengthen their hand for the next presidency. But the U.S. is so dumb and lie so bad that they cut the throat of the Uncle Tom Iranians that was dying to lick their behind. And it was good, because now Iran has benefited 100%. Iran does not have to threaten anybody, just like Ali Salahi said the other day, that we're going to follow 100% the guidelines of the JOP, something other +5, you know. Yeah, okay. Comprehensive joint, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they're going to do that. But that's after they was told to do that, because first They was coming out, we're mad, we're going to do this. You have to do that. You already won. Just like we didn't won against our munafiqs, once you win, you don't go back and revisit the battlefield again. You don't let them drag you back to the battlefield after you whooped them people. Okay, so I'm going to try to speed up. So our brothers have made Saudi Arabia happy. Iran does not have to respond to events, naval events in the Gulf, because Iran does not have to prove itself that it's strong. Iran is winning on every level, psychologically, emotional, and military. The Hezbollah has cleaned house in Syria and got the Zionists about to go crazy. The missteps of Saudi Arabia and Yemen, the filthy practices of Saudi Arabia and Yemen, bombing, cholera, disease, food shortages, electricity shortages, medicine shortages, all of that caused by Saudi Arabia for no valid reason, except they say we don't like Houthis. So, this black spot, which we translate into a white spot, on Iranian behavior inside the United States, seems to be designed to support U.S. policy and also to silence me. Also to mainly cut me off from everything. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but if I was a normal person, I would have been finished a long time ago. Because this normal stuff kills everybody else. People can't stand that. If I wouldn't have been raised the way I would have, this would have it knocks everybody, nobody even close to where we are. They're not even thinking, they don't even think like that. Okay. So what I'm asking, anybody that is in touch with any of our brothers in Iran that was here, our crew, we prayed at a certain spot. I want one of you to go there and tell the brothers, Imam Musa need your help. Because these politicians here, these careers, and you know who I'm talking about, the foreign ministry and all of these guys, I don't know, something went crazy about them. They are working. If it was just a few, it would be one thing. But it's coming from a position of power because this affected all of the Shias. Every last one of them. Their policies coincide with Saudi policies in relation to me inside the United States. The brothers, everything they do coincide as though it's filtered through the same guidelines in the United States. All the stuff that, everything from pulling guns, from assassination attempts, the brothers don't say nothing. I don't get one call from none of them. You say, well, you shouldn't talk about the brothers like that. I didn't talk about Muhammad al-Asi and Zafar Bangash until several years ago. All this stuff happened and not even a phone call, and to call and say, hey man, here's some witnesses. Put this in the paper. I have to call back 10 times to Zafar. And there are people here who have called them themselves. They either just will listen or they won't listen, but they won't answer the phone. What's with all that? What's going on? How is it that people who have worked together for 30-something years and more, when you get in trouble, they don't answer the phone. They don't even call. Muhammad al-Asi never called to find out, are you all right? I heard such and such. So some of the brothers asked me the other day, do you have differences? I don't have no differences with nobody. I only have one difference, is this. If you was attacked, we was with you. No matter what the attack was. We always put ourselves on the line, no question asked. None of them respond. None of the brothers are supposed to be on the same team. Muslim Congress, go through the record, how did it get started? When it gets rolling, all of a sudden, we don't want to talk. The last time I was in Atlanta, year before last, we went down there and a lot of the Negroes from here was down there at the Atlanta Muslim Congress program. Do you know what the Negroes were saying from here? The same thing people said 20 years ago. We got to call them to account for they don't have no program for us. The black Shias are saying to the Pakistanis who immigrated here, y'all don't have no program for us. And they asked me, you gonna come to the meeting tonight? I said, hell no, I ain't coming to no meeting tonight about them not having, you don't have no program for them. You're supposed to help them settle in. Not they come here and settle in and then you gonna cause fitna in their program. Y'all are racist. They're not racist. They didn't come here to set up no program for niggas.
That's the talk now. That's still the talk. They haven't changed because that's still the vibe.
The vibe is insanity. It's insanity. When we saw the immigrants, we said, we're going to get you back because the white man going to be on your behind. That was our position. Would Iran and anybody else? Okay, and we did that up to today.
Sound like the brothers that are black Shia, sound like they suffer from the same problem that the brothers in that article suffering from. They have some kind of trauma, psychological trauma, stuff like that.
No. Look, I don't want to talk about Negro Shia. Look, some of these guys, politicians now, they are holdover from Mehdi Barzakhan. You remember Free Islamic Literature down in Houston?